everybody, happy Tuesday. And sorry, Sean has my light with him right now, so that's why I kind of look like there's a lot of light here and I'm a little darker here. So anyway, when it is Tuesday, I'm on Tumblr. So if any of you are curious how the system works, because I know we have a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new viewers, and the way that it works is I'm on a different site Tuesday through Friday. Monday, or like this week, I put a video out on Saturday because I did a collaboration with Ashley Elizabeth, and if you haven't checked that out and checked out her channel, you should definitely do that. But then on Tuesdays, I'm on Tumblr. On Wednesdays, I'm on the website and YouTube. So we'll ask your questions below today's video for tomorrow's video, and on KatiMorton.com. Thursday, I'm on Twitter, and Friday I'm on Facebook. And it always helps if you use the hashtag KatiFAQ, because on most of the sites I can search it that way, and that just helps me better find the actual questions. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. And I may be mixing things up a little, trying some new things. I have some people that I'm trying to work with to maybe put out yoga videos and just different types of videos so that we can mix it up, because I know sometimes it just gets kind of boring and we want to make sure we're keeping things fresh. So I have 2 questions today, as well as a journal topic from Rambles and Brambles. That's her name on Tumblr. Thank you so much for sending me that. So let's get started. First question says, hey Katie, I was wondering if someone has an eating disorder, do they have body dysmorphic disorder as well? Do they come together, or can you only be diagnosed with one? This is a great question, and I've talked about it at various times with other videos, but not specifically. I've talked about it when I'm talking about anorexia nervosa, I believe, and then I did a video about BDD, which is body dysmorphic disorder. If you want more information on that, just search on YouTube Kati Morton BDD or Kati Morton body dysmorphic disorder, and it should come up with a bunch of videos. And I would encourage any of you, if you're new, prior to asking a question for the FAQ, search for it on YouTube using my name and maybe a main phrase like school or stress or, you know, BDD or anorexia, and see what I have already done, because I answer a lot of questions and I always try to hashtag them at the bottom so that when you search, they'll come up with the right answers. So as far as an eating disorder and BDD, they are completely separate. The part of the eating disorder in and of itself is just like BDD, for lack of a better explanation, because when we struggle with the eating disorder, we're often so focused and so obsessed with how our body looks and feels and what it's doing and how often we're eating them. We're just obsessed with that. That's like, I believe, I don't remember what the insurances used to say when I used to have to call these in, but it was like if it takes over more than 60% of your brain space, your time, if you're spending most of your day thinking about your body and obsessing about how it looks, then that's one of the criteria for an eating disorder, and so you can get coverage for treatment. So that is an eating disorder. I know that sounds a lot like BDD, but in the DSM, I forget what they call it, below it, it says that you have to like rule out other things. And in BDD, it says if this can be attributed to an eating disorder, then it's no longer BDD, it's the eating disorder. So the eating disorder kind of encompasses a feeling and symptoms like BDD, but we can only really have BDD if it cannot be attributed to an eating disorder. Is that clear? I know sometimes it can be kind of difficult, and I feel like I need a whiteboard where I like draw and explain the differences, but that's kind of how those circles overlap. And yes, the symptomology, wow, can be very similar. However, that's how we differentiate, okay? Now, question number 2 says, hey, Katie, I'm not sure if I'm asking in the right place. Well, you were, but here's my question. I'm getting better slowly, but my best friend is not. And I feel a tremendous amount of guilt for getting better when she's not, and it's making me backtrack. Do you have any advice? Now, I really want to talk about this because a lot of you in general reach out to me talking about having loved ones in your life or friends who are struggling, and you feel guilty for doing better, or you're able to get help and they're not and it's really hard, or you're really close to someone who's really struggling and getting worse. And the best thing that we can do is help ourselves. I know that sounds ridiculous. I know you're like, but I feel really guilty, Katie. I just told you that. Are you listening? Geez. But I am listening. The best thing we can do is get help ourselves, because we can't care for someone else. We can't help them in their walk. We can't offer up advice if we're not doing good for ourselves in the first place, if we're not actually working on our recovery. Otherwise, it's like the blind leading the blind, and we're both struggling. And why should we both be feeling bad? But when we're feeling better, and when we're getting better, we'll have more energy and more, ways to help out for those people in our lives who are still struggling. Now, I would encourage all of you to open communication with them about this so that we don't make them feel like we're pushing our experience and our thoughts and beliefs about recovery on them. But let them know that you love to be a resource, you know that you're always there for them, that you love them, and that you just want to be there to support in any way you can. But we really can't do that fully if we're not taking care of ourselves. So the best thing we can do, if you're out there and you have a person in your life that you love and care about, and they're struggling, the best thing you can do if you're also in recovery is to keep working on your recovery, because otherwise we can't help each other. We can't be there for one another, because it's almost like the whole old saying, like, you can't love someone else without loving yourself first. And that is for friendships too. If I'm not taking care of myself, I can't sit down with my best friend Liz and just chat about stuff. I need to take care of myself so that when she needs to vent, I can be there for her and I can listen. But I can't do it when I'm not doing well. If I'm running ragged, if I'm, feeling bad, then I can't really be there for her in the way that she may need. And so in a way, by helping ourselves, we help others at the same time. I hope that makes sense. And if any of you have any tips and tricks about how you've communicated that to a friend, like if you've opened up communication about recovery and that they're having a hard time and you're working really hard so you're there to support them, let me know below, because the more we share with each other, the more we all grow together. Am I right? I think I'm right. Okay. Now, the journal topic from Rambles and Brambles, such a cute name. You guys have the funniest and cutest names on Tumblr. Okay. It says, "Hey Katie, possible journal topic." It's a quote, and it says, "If your friend spoke to you the way that you sometimes speak to yourself, how long would you allow that person to be your friend? This is a reminder that the fight starts with you." And I don't know if I said this one before, but I've heard it before. And this is a great way to check in on our relationships and most importantly, our relationship with ourselves, because the fight does start with us. And that negative voice that we allow to talk trash to us all day long, would we allow someone else to talk to us like that? Probably not. So I think we should start arguing back in the same way that we'd argue or distract or ignore the person that's talking trash. So sometimes we have to ignore that voice. Sometimes we have to yell back. Sometimes we have to distract. Whatever you need to do to get it to shut the hell up, I recommend you start today. Okay, I love you all. Tomorrow, like I said, website and YouTube, so ask your questions here, as well as on katiemorton.com, and I'll see you then.